Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
Wow, what a difference we were looking at today compared to yesterday.
That was wild. Alana.
Happy Friday, right? My goodness.
Yeah, we deserve it.
Yes, especially after this week, that monsoon moisture was present all week. We saw storms each day and even a few out there right now, but doesn't impact Salt Lake County. Look how pretty that is. Our Colonial Flag Tower camera here at the ABC4 studios. It's 85 degrees. A day in the 80s. In August, really not too bad. Live view from St. George. We've hit 100 triple digits for our Southern Utah University network camera right now. As we look at the satellite radar, it shows overall fairly quiet conditions, but we do have some lingering storms this afternoon over by the Uinta Basin, which are tracking to the east. So over the Uintas, terrain driven, and then right there on the state line. But the rest of the state, lots of sunshine, cooler temps, and it's still pretty pleasant out there as we close out the work week. Daytime highs right now hovering in the upper 80s for the Basin. 80s in Wendover, 70s and 80s for the Wasatch Front, 90s in Moab, and 80s for the I-15 corridor, upper 90s near Lake Powell. As we get through the rest of the evening, mid-80s with those clear skies looking pretty good. Now we're keeping our eye on the West Desert because there is potential that we could see maybe an isolated storm pop up just with residual moisture, 70s for the overnight dropping into the upper 60s. But it's a slight chance because at this point, overall, we're drying out. This is what we saw last night. Can't get over the videos that you were sending us. That is the most lightning I have ever seen over Salt Lake City in my entire time in Utah. And gosh, that's a lot. So as we look at Thursday's storms, I want to walk you through the process because we saw periods of quiet, but it started with the overnight in the morning. That heavy rain up there in Box Elder County. We did get a flood warning popping up for the Ogden Valley, then flash flood warnings in south central Utah with the storms. We saw severe thunderstorms in eastern Utah. And then it was that West Desert development, which you saw those storms were tracking northeast. They really came together over the Salt Lake Valley. And that's why we saw a severe thunderstorm warning that just dropped all of that. And we're still cleaning up from it today. Moisture did not clear until after midnight. So overall, a very active day. As we look at our Saturday, different pattern. Okay, that area of high pressure that really has brought heat to us in the past is a little further east. So the hottest temperatures won't be over Utah, but we're looking pretty seasonal, which is going to be really nice. We get quiet temperatures and a little bit of warmth, the warming and drier trend with more of a westerly flow. As we look at our futurecast, it does show us halfway through the weekend, Saturday and into Sunday, we get a weak disturbance. Tonight by 9 p.m., forewarning you that right there on the state line, we're going to stay active, clouds in the West Desert, so we'll see what happens. Overnight, the Basin, Castle Country, and over I-70 could see some isolated storms, again, kind of tied to the mountains. As we look at the futurecast for our Saturday, really quiet. And then as we get later into Saturday evening, northwestern corner of the state and the Uintas do have the potential to see some storms. The rest of us will clearer conditions and temperatures just warming up. Now Sunday, a weak disturbance will bring more cloud cover, which is noticeable here. And we will see those temperatures dropping just a few degrees. Precipitation potential tomorrow, northwestern Utah, over the mountains. Other than that, looking pretty good, but you can't rule it out. So you just have to stay weather aware, especially during monsoon season. But now with our westerly flow, drier conditions, but we're going to see the chance of some storms. I've said that all week. 80s and 90s for tomorrow. Northeastern Utah could see that activity. 80s for the Basin towards Price, 100 degrees in Moab. 103 in St. George. As we zoom in, you're going to find really pleasant temperatures for our mountain valleys. Park City and Heber getting into the 80s, Tooele in the mid-80s. So a really nice Saturday on deck and drier conditions compared to what we've seen throughout the week. As we head down south, that's where you're going to find the building heat, triple digits at Lake Powell and pretty close to average in Washington County. The next 7 in St. George keep us right around seasonal norms with dry conditions, a little bit more cloud cover. As we look at the Wasatch Front, you're going to check those numbers and say, okay, not bad, 90s turning to 80s. Average is 95 this time of year, but we're going to be below that. Slight chance of some moisture returns Sunday and then again towards the end of our work week. So, you know, it's been a week. It's been a week, friends. You know it. I know it. We all know it.
We're at Friday.
And I'm still in love
recovering
with that
today.
raccoon. Yeah, I feel
Show
like.
him again.
Thank you. You have to see this raccoon.
That
That's
was
the greatest
the
thing.
best.
Yes.
It's done for an encore.
Unbelievable.